Hey, good evening, everybody. Good evening. I'm back. First and foremost, I realized with the previous live streams, my microphone is actually starting to show a sign of its age. One of my older microphones. Yes, one of my older microphones. So I had to use one of my microphones I don't use a lot. So yeah, I'm like, hopefully I'll sound a little better with the volume and everything. I haven't even adjusted anything. Just want to make sure my voice gets out there a little better. But uh actually, on both live streams to this one, I had to use the Bluetooth, and I'm actually more settled down to where I don't need the Bluetooth. And hey, it's the trilogy, so a little more calm with this particular live stream anyway, given that it's the trilogy. Looks like Brown Do Life will be back shortly. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, we here. I know sometimes I schedule my live streams, reschedule them, but yeah, never count me out because y'all know once I get started, I get started. Yeah, of course, given the date of this live stream. Ah, someone new in the building, Jesse Silva. What up, OG? Hey, I appreciate that, family. Good to see you for the first time in the building. Yeah, I know given the date of this live stream, given the date of this live stream, it's like the day before the 4th of July. They celebrate that. And I won't go into that history, but yeah, that's for another conversation, the whole 4th of July conversation. But getting right to the point, let's just try to wrap up this particular type of live stream I've been doing. So you see that this is a trilogy for those checking this particular live stream out on the replay. And haven't thought about a separate playlist for this type of stuff. I think I might. Haven't decided what I would call it. I think I'll just probably call it simply put uh my contributions. That might be it, or contributions from yours truly, something like that. Just something with contributions in the name. That will be the name of this particular playlist for live streams like this, where I'm talking about some really heavy topics about things that are social, political, geographical. Sometimes, I won't really go so far as to talk too much about technological, but especially a lot of the more deeper topics. I'll have a live stream playlist for that, just simply having to deal with contributions. But yeah, let's go. Let's just get right to the point, y'all. What I am a man means now in regards to one's financial outlook. Just simply put, um, yeah, I appreciate that, Jesse. Yes, yes. I'm just trying to do more besides just like being on that type of time, like we hear about the manosphere. Like I'm about relationships, and I do talk about that, but I want to make it more on the grander scheme of things, how everything affects our walk and way of life, and maybe even some of our relationships. So that's what this contribution side of my channel will be about. Like, I'm just trying to connect the dots for y'all. That's all I'm trying to do. That's all this channel is about, for real, for real. But yeah, what I am a man means now in regards to one's financial outlook. I mean, you think about just trying to get ahead, not merely just trying to own land and things like that, like being a melanated man for sure, but just even just more or less just trying to have a business. Do y'all know in the future, it ain't gonna be enough for you to have a job. You're gonna have a business. Having a business in the future will be the new form of having a job. Okay. Because the middle class is getting wiped out, y'all. It's getting wiped out. You're gonna have to either have a business or you're gonna have to get some type of subsidies. AI is gonna take over a lot of things, a lot of jobs that we are doing right now, even simply just being a dishwasher. That's gonna be taken over by AI. So you gotta really get into actually having a business to run that AI, if nothing else. But yeah, having a business in the future is gonna be the new way of having a job. People ain't gonna be like what kind of job you have in the future. They're gonna be like what type of business you have. That's what it's gonna be like in the future. You said, Jesse, I'm Mexican American, but I grew up with Black American and Puerto Ricans. Yeah, 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 and yeah, you say AI taking over for sure. Yeah, so you're already on that type of time. That's what's up, Jesse. You already get it. Yeah. Uh, just trying to move ahead in this world, right? Like the main thing is just trying to not owe nobody, right? We look at a lot of brothers for sure, especially a lot of melanated so-called black brothers are very financially illiterate. And I can say at one point that was me. Okay. And I only say that because there's two ways you can become more literate financially. You're either going to go the way of this society to kind of get yourself out of debt, or you figure out the way you feel is best for you to go to get out of debt. Either way will get you out of debt. It's up to you. If you go on point, if you take it upon yourself to go your route of getting out of debt, just make sure you have it lined out for you in such a way, right? Because yeah, you definitely don't want to feel like you owe anybody when your last day comes on this earth. You don't want to feel like you owe anybody. But I think for the most part, it's about rebuilding that generational wealth. I think that's what it comes down to as well. And so the financial outlook of what I am a man means now is just really, the key to really just starting to think about generational wealth is just simply to uh, work on getting out of debt of a society that you're not predominant in regards to ethnocentric. I can't even say the word. There's a word that's called ethnocentrism, right? And it's just based on whoever runs a society in a country predominantly. And so they would say it's predominantly white, right? But so-called black man or even a brown man, as Jesse just stated, uh, a certain guy in debt in a predominantly white society. How can you get out of that, right? You had to learn about this system. You had to learn about its economics. You had to learn about its taxes. Still a lot to learn, especially if you're still trying to start a business in this type of society, right? And there's a lot to be said about that as far as ideas go, a lot of inventions that a lot of guys that look like Fred Hampton on the screen, they had their ideas taken. Okay. Um, there was a lot of people that were melanated that actually helped Thomas Edison to get that light bulb running right. I'm just saying. Should I continue on? Should I continue on? The guy that developed the super soaker, you know, ideas were taken by Nerf. Nerf. But it was a brother who came up with the idea of the super soaker. And he was one of the leading rocket engineers of NASA. So that's the thing. Like, you think about all this and you think about how can I leverage this for myself, knowing that trillions of dollars of the minority dollar goes into a society not set up for minorities, if you will, even though minorities are becoming the actual majority. And then you think about what Tupac said at one point about if every person that's melanated could just give $1, even let's say $2 or $3, just $3, whoo, given the trillions of dollars we put into the society every year, that can start a new nation. And you think about the fact with the melanated people, just so-called black people alone represent about 40 to 50 million. Yes, 40 to 50 million strong. And then you add in other colors like brown, right? And even yellow. That makes up about pretty much close to 100 million, probably a little more than that, maybe like 100 million, 200 million, you name it, right? Like, y'all help me out with that number there, with the minority population percentage in the United States. Just giving y'all a ballpark figure. So yeah, if one just decided to not buy anything in the United States, that melanated person decided not to buy anything, that'll stop the United States. Like its economy would stop, like literally overnight. Yes, black and brown unity. Exactly, exactly. Just went to a Mexican restaurant the other day. I love authentic Mexican food. One of the best gals I had in my life, she was a Mexican, like straight up from Santa Cruz. So yeah, Veracruz, not Santa Cruz, Veracruz. Even though yes, Santa Cruz, California. Any Latina living out there, Senorita, Santa Cruz, California. Hola. Just saying. Uh, and Brown Do Life is back. What's good? What's good? What's good? Just talking about the financial side of this aspect of what I am a man means now. Trying to reform from this. Uh, uh, how can I put this? Artificial society, right? How to develop wealth outside of this artificial society. And I've talked about the artificial society stuff before, Brown Do Life. So you pretty much see where I'm going with this. Because that was actually part of the genesis of Wakanda, like what they spoke about in the Black Panther movies. Developing an economy outside of a falling economy. Okay, that's what Wakanda was talking about. Real talk, y'all. And so, what I am a man means now is just the real revolution is going to be economic. Shout out to Immortal Technique. He said it himself. So you got to start thinking like that, but think about it from the standpoint of developing your own system, not trying to work off a system that we've never fully understood. You deal with these so-called white laws and taxes and white economics and finances. You wonder if you could ever master the mind of Warren Buffett. I think he makes it the simplest because he shows you that he doesn't try to buy the most over the top house. He lives in all places, Omaha, Nebraska, okay, right there in the smack dab of the Midwest. And he's actually known for rising to wealth by actually being a good investor. I'm pretty sure he could tell you how to save money, but Warren Buffett is known as an investor, okay? And so I see that with a lot of brothers that do decide to actually do something with their wealth. They are actually good investors. Like, Shaq, he actually is more profitable than Michael Jordan because he's invested more. He's had better investments, right? Whereas Michael Jordan has profited off his name. Shaq, we all know who Shaq is, right? But Shaq's name is not big like Michael Jordan's name. But the flip side, Shaq has been a better investor than Michael Jordan because, Shaq, he had to make it off his investments, not necessarily off his name. So in the long run, you could see how Shaq became more profitable than Michael Jordan, right? But that's the thing, becoming more of an investor, figuring out where to really put your dollars, where to really make it count, where to really find out how to live outside of this dollar. The dollar is falling as we speak every day, okay? The question to ask Biden, Joe Biden, what are you going to do, right? We think about this beast system that Brown Do Life just mentioned, right? Where would the dollar fit? So what I am a man means now is still trying to find out where he fits outside of that system because it's trying to suck everybody into that system. Not everybody will want to be part of that system. Now they talk about the mark of the beast, but actually the mark of the beast is people willingly accept it. It won't be by force. So that's why I felt that the vaccine, oops, did I say that? But they will tell you. I'm just confirming what YouTube actually wants you to say. The vaccine is not the mark of the beast. So there you go. I said it too. Because it was made as like there was a mandate on it, right? It was a mandate. So that's that. It was a mandate. Whereas what they consider the mark of the beast won't be necessarily a mandate. People will actually want to do it, whatever that is. We don't know what the mark of the beast is. We actually don't know. We hear about it in the Bible, but you can't really go word for word about what the Bible actually says. You can kind of take bits and pieces, given how the Roman Catholic Church has manipulated a lot of what we have known today as the Bible. Okay. You said, Jesse, much love and respect to all. Yeah. Likewise. Likewise. Yeah. You said, Brown do life. Biden won't do nothing. Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Yeah. So let's continue to roll. Like I'm just talking on one aspect of this, what I am a man means now. And I could talk about this for the next few moments. I've already within these 15 minutes just kind of broke down the whole financial outlook of this. And we could continue on with this, but I want to jump into something else. Maybe we'll come back to the financial aspect. I'm pretty sure there are other things I need to mention. Basically, this, uh, especially when you deal with this whole high value man talk and you deal with gals that want guys to be doing things and having things a certain way, sweetie, you got to be supportive of that man, whether he has a dime in his pocket or he don't, because whatever success he gets in his life, he'll definitely thank you for all the support. A man that actually loves you will do that, okay, in his own way. Now, you expecting him to do certain things for you and to have certain things, that ain't love. That ain't you having his back, helping him and being there for him as a help me, through it all for the success and, dealing with all these financial uphills. Not everybody's going to have a 600 credit score, okay? But he might find a way to hustle and get in his bag and get bigger bags that way, so it's different ways. And then on top of that, him trying to find a way to do all this without necessarily being illegal about it, whatever they mean by illegal these days, right? One second. All right, sorry y'all, I had a slight interruption, but let me kind of jump to something else because I want to make sure I kind of give y'all a lot for this live stream in this trilogy for sure. I don't want to take up too much of y'all time. I appreciate y'all even stopping by. I appreciate Brown Do Life, of course, as usual. One of my steady hands with the moderation. So, uh, let's talk about the Black Stone Age, right? Let's talk about that. What does this have to do with what I am a man means now? Well, I mean, this idea of mine is about basically with this Black Stone Age, is basically looking at at the primitive nature of melanated people in these times. The rapper Crazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, he did an interview about corrupting the community with corrupt music, basically. And I'm not talking about the rapper Corrupt, okay? Yeah, from the Dog Pound. I'm not talking about the rapper Corrupt. Shout out to Corrupt. Uh, but what I'm talking about is he actually, there's a video out there about this. Y'all can look this up, but yeah, don't just take my word for it. Take Crazy Bones' word for it. He did a video, and he was talking about this stuff. And he was saying there was like the secret meeting that, music execs had. And, he was there. He didn't want to jump in on it. They kind of, the way Bone Thugs and Harmony started off, they were similar to Tupac, as far as what this ideology of what thug is, right? But there's some deviations. That's not for tonight's live stream. But I will say this: Crazy Bone witnessed all these conversations, and he was just like, "Whoa, man, this is, yeah. I don't know if this would be a good thing for Bone Thugs and Harmony to be part of damaging the community." And I don't know. It's up to y'all to even want to throw out there: was Bone Thugs and Harmony involved in this whole corruption of the community? And I'm not saying they are, but it's just a question to ask, right? But there's a lot of rappers during that time that were a witness to these conversations, not just Crazy Bone. Crazy Bone was just the one that actually decided to mention it. So yeah, shout out to Crazy Bone for that, right? Because really, if you think about it, even at that time, Crazy Bone and the rest of Bone Thugs and Harmony, they were like one of the only few rap groups during that time that actually mentioned prayer in hip hop, like real prayer, like and we pray and we pray and we pray every day. Like they were the only group really talking about prayer in hip hop during a time when there was a lot of gangster rap, right? So that's what I'm saying. I'm just letting y'all want to think about this as far as questions to ask. Okay, there's a lot to bring up here, right? But nevertheless, uh, yeah, definitely R.I.P. Tupac Shakur all day long, all day long. Uh, this was part of the Stone Age, of the Black conscious, basically. This whole corruption of the community with today's type of rap music, which is now trap. You got drill music, you got crunk music, right? You still got gangster rap music, right? And you have even some type of conscious music too. What I mean by this is you get some of these type of music that they get on that spiritual rap, but it be brainwashing, right? You know, getting you to have all these different weird beliefs and stuff. Some rap music does that. Not all, but some does. It depends on what you choose to listen to. But it's out there. This new age, neo soul type of rap music. Some of it, not all, but some of it being a brainwashing too. It depends on what you once again choose to listen to. Okay. Overall, I mentioned all this about the stone aging of the black conscious due to this type of music and stuff as well, because now the world prefers the upright melanated man to be a thug or a slave. That's what I'm a man means now. And it kind of goes back to what I've said in previous live streams talking about this topic uh, of not being seen as a stereotypical black man for sure, right? But um, nevertheless, still seen a certain way regardless, right? Unfortunately, you said Brown Dude Life. You said neo soul music is legit. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, and for the most part, I see it that way too. It's just that you got some that do try to deviate, just those some. But yeah, that shouldn't change the whole aspect of what neo soul is, right? But yeah, you do be having some of them ones, right? I ain't gonna say names. I ain't gonna say names, but let's just say Andre 3000, he was affected by somebody with that type of music, right? But yeah, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. But here's the thing though. Here's the thing. A man that hasn't been a criminal should not be treated as a slave. Once again, a man that hasn't been a criminal shouldn't be treated as a slave. But we see this. We see this with a lot of the upright melanated man for sure. He's treated as a slave. But even if you are of another color or culture and you're just trying to be upright, you still treated as a slave just because they think you come off nice. So that means you're going to follow rules or follow their rules, even if their rules aren't right. It's like, nah, man, y'all not right. I'm going to speak on it, right? We're supposed to have this freedom of speech, right? So, uh, uh, oh man. Oh, I see what you're saying, Brown. Like, no, that's not it. That's not it. Yeah, you might get it. You might guess it. You might be able to guess it. Uh, but yeah, another thing is an upright melanated man isn't allowed to even be angry. Okay. This is a big one, y'all. This is a big one. I'm gonna have to sip on this. I have to take a little sippy sip for this one. See, this is a big one, y'all. This is a big one. Because, if you've been checking out some of my uploads lately, one of my uploads that I did was about his hawk of heart for her. Basically, with the way a man's masculinity is sort of equivalent to the Incredible Hulk. And basically, I've thought about this. Yep, that's correct. That's correct, Brown Do Life. Yep. What you just posted. That's correct. That's correct. Yeah. So here's the thing, like, especially with the melanated man, so-called black man, he's not allowed to be angry. You get angry, we gonna arrest you, boy. Cause see, him being angry is like a 500-year anger that's upon him, the anger that's put upon him based on history. But even with all men around the world, just this idea that you can't be a man, that's a sense of holding back that incredible hawk within you that you can't let out. And then when you let it out, you're seen as a monster. They're going to have to arrest you now because you're not allowed to be angry. The scripture even says, what? Be angry, but sin not. Just because a man is angry doesn't mean he's going to be sinful about it. Man sometimes has to get things off his chest. And ladies, you need to be there when he has to let things get off his chest. Doesn't mean he's an abusive person. You don't know what he's mad at. That don't mean he's mad at you. Men ain't even allowed to be angry. But see, back in the days, it was a little different. Men had a little more testosterone that they could let out. That's not to say men don't have testosterone now, even though, you can see that with the GMO foods and stuff. Yeah, a little bit of estrogen is getting inside of a man, right? But back in Fred Hampton's days, you could be boisterous. At least he was like in probably the last era to where a melanated man could be boisterous without being seen as like intimidating and misogynistic, right? And probably somewhat controlling. They don't even want men to have deep voices, or they don't appreciate a man's voice if it's deep. And this is nothing against guys that don't have deep voices, but yes, there is a stigma about a man with a deep voice like mine. And I don't even have the deepest voice. I'm just a baritone. I used to get jealous because I used to hear Barry White's voice, and his voice is much deeper than mine, But I realized Barry White is not a baritone. Barry White is a bass. So I was like, okay, there's clarity there. There's clarity. Okay, so much love to Barry White. Yeah, exactly. You got to watch for that soy. That soy, that puts the estrogen inside of the man. You got to watch for that estrogen, man, especially in the butter. We could talk about that butter you use for them eggs and steaks in the morning for breakfast and stuff, right? Yeah, you got to get away from butter that got soy in it. I'm just saying. So that's try to get soy out your diet. You might have to throw away that butter, man, if it's got soy in it. Just get you another one, man. It'll be worth it. You saving your life versus trying to save some money. Save your life, man. You see soy on the ingredients, just throw it out. I'm just saying, man, go with natural butter. Real talk. That butter is kind of what kills you. If you just change the type of butter you use, that'll save you. Hey, what's good, Mike? I see you, family. I see you. Yeah, brother from another mother. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. We're going to continue to chop this up because, like I said, going back to the Incredible Hulk, they don't want men to get angry. Like I said, the Bible even says, be angry, but sin not. And a lot of girls, they get a little bit like the man can't be angry, but notice they can be angry all the time. They can have temper tantrums. They can go off on a dude. They can say all this stuff. They can throw things around, bust out windows. Not saying a man is going to do that if he becomes like an Incredible Hulk and goes on a frenzy, but a man, especially a melanated man, ain't even allowed to get angry. Let's say somebody have a beef with him. He ain't allowed to get angry because if he knocks the dude out, the dude gonna come back and try to shoot him with a gun because the dude's a coward. You know that the dude he'll whoop him up in a fight, but he don't want to take an L like that. So if he get beat up, he going to get the gun and go shoot the dude. See? Can't get angry for a lot of reasons in this day and age in regards to what I am a man means now, right? Can't even protect yourself, right? Knock some dude out trying to protect you and yours. Steps in your space or steps up to your family the wrong way. You knock them out, right? Knock them out. Boom. Dude gonna try to come back with a gun. It's crazy, man. So it's all these different things. And what I am a man means now is you finding different ways to deal with this incredible Hawk side of you. But I really want to say this to you all, everybody. I don't care what color you are as a man. If that girl can't handle you while you angry, she definitely don't need to be around you when you're happy. No different than if she's not there with you eating crumbs, she definitely don't need to be there eating that steak with you. If she can't be on the air mattress with you, she don't need to be in that California king size bed with you. Yes, I said California king size bed because there's a difference between a California king and a regular king size bed. Yes. So let's go. So yes, I tie all that in to say if she can't handle you while you're angry, she definitely don't need to be around you while you're happy because she can be around your Hulkamania times when you mad and stuff. You're not necessarily mad at her, but you just upset. You just trying to let things out. You trying to vent. You just mad. Sometimes you want to you know what I'm saying? Like she should be there to kind of be the soft side. If she's just as angry as you, fellas, no, don't talk to her. Leave her alone. No girl should be trying to be more angry than a man. You know what I'm saying? She shouldn't try to cuss more than a man. She definitely shouldn't be trying to be more angry than a man. That's for you, ladies. Yeah. So exactly, Brown Do Life, exactly. But like, we're gonna continue on with this because, like, once again, you know, it's like, especially for the melanated man, he's not even allowed to be angry. He's everyone's scapegoat, it seems. And this is what I mean by goat lately. When I say goat, I ain't talking about goat. They talking about goat, greatest of all time. And actually, when I say goat, sometimes I don't even say greatest of all time. I think that's sort of arrogant. Say greatest of a time, okay? Not greatest of all time, greatest of a time. There's a difference, okay? Yeah. But when I say goat, I normally talk about just from the standpoint of being like a scapegoat. You know, that's what I talk about. Because scalped goat, yeah, scapegoat, scalped goat. People taking your fleece and your wool. You get a lot of that going on. Get out though. You got to get out of that. He's not allowed to say anything as a consequence of others who have said too much, whether it's about him or just in general. One bad apple trying to spoil the bunch out here, especially being a melanated man, because you have, some guys that were unbridled with their tongues. So the next time a brother speak, you don't know what he's going to say or how he's going to say it. Or if he gets angry, you don't know what he's angry about and why he's being angry. He can even tell you that. And then he'll get misunderstood, misinterpreted. If he's in a relationship and the gal's dealt with so many abusive dudes, he can't even just be allowed to be upset without her feeling some type of way and just basically blocking his number or something, or just not wanting to talk to him no more. But it's like, I'm not mad like at you like that. Like, can we like try to talk this out? Like, you so used to running off like you've done before. Like, I'm not trying to get you to run off from me. Like, we could talk about this. So what I am a man means now is that he has to walk on eggshells in every single relationship he gets into, because he can't even really be a man. What I am a man means now, he got to be less of a man. Okay. There's actually a sign out there, like similar to the ones during the civil rights time of I am a man. This one dude, he was walking around. I wish I could look that sign up. I'm going to have to post it on my community wall. But the sign said, I'm not a man, because this world pretty much emasculates him in such a way, like to where he just can't really be a man out here, especially if he's melanated. He can't really be a man. Oh, you'll be seen as a sex symbol, but that's a small part of what a man is as far as his sexual energy. Okay, there's more to being a man than just him having a certain sexual energy about himself, y'all. Come on now. But yeah, it's like, and he's not even allowed to do anything as a consequence of others who have done too much or too little. I mean, basically, just going off what I just said just a few minutes ago. Like, bad examples, people get burned. So like, you don't even give this man a chance, even when he makes mistakes, because so many other people have done things on purpose towards you before. Okay. So a certain type of upright man can't even afford to make mistakes, because his mistakes won't even be accepted. You know, everybody else can make mistakes and do all this stuff, you know, but he can't, you know, or just a certain man, you know, what color you are, like you just can't make mistakes. And so that's why I believe this whole idea of like this whole demigod effect, this whole idea of being a godly person, this thing is coming into fruition day by day, because you're going to live a standard above the rest of society, given that I won't say society has put you on a pedestal, but they have a battery on your back as well as a target on your back at the same time, if that makes sense. Like that's what it's like in regards to what I am a man means now. If you are living and being a certain way, you got them putting a battery on your back and a target on your back at the same time. Okay. You know, so there's ways you go about as far as how you live your life because of this, but that's just pretty much the reality for yourself. I mean, people gonna think so highly of you basically, but at the same time, they're not gonna waste any time attacking you if they feel like there's a reason for them to do so. Whether they felt it was provoked, unprovoked, or given that they took things out of context, you know, basically overreacting to something you said, did, something you didn't say, or you didn't do. Okay. That's just that. Uh, Basically, he's ridiculed for not doing more because of others who have done little, or because of those who have done much, but greed gets the best of most people. They expect this type of man to do what others have done in a sense that he's enough to do these things without much pushback. Okay? Like, like you need to do this because you know you're supposed to do these things. There's somebody new in the building. Princess Caprella 99. Very interesting name. I'm glad that you see this as a very interesting conversation. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. And as I tell others, as well as yourself, Princess, make sure that you got your popcorn, nachos, hot dogs, and soda for this one. Halfway in, but we still got a little bit more to go. You know, still got a little bit more to go. And you can always check this out on the replay for sure. Yeah. Um, they don't want the upright man to have any pushback, any opinion of his own about certain something. Yeah, you know, you know, they can have their opinion about him, but he cannot have his opinion about them. You know, where's the reciprocation in that? Okay, where's the reciprocation in that? Right. This gives you all an idea of what I am a man means now in these times, though. It means that he's actually seen as less of a man, no matter how much he declares that he is a man. And it's sad that he has to do this. And no matter how much he shows that he's a man, they still don't recognize his full manhood. Okay. Because he will be seen for the most part as unrecognizable or unrecognized. Only those who recognize realness, recognize real right, only the real will recognize his realness. Okay. So that's what I am a man means now. You'll be mostly invisible, and only the real will recognize your realness. And only the real will appreciate you keeping it real. Other people gonna feel like you just rubbing them the wrong way. You see? Like upright melanated men, especially melanated men that are upright, usually get cut off from a lot of relationships and marriages with unanswered questions, unsolved mysteries, no closure. Just he never hears from whatever gal ever again. She just disappears on him. No closure, no sense that we can move forward, no sense that we can put our differences aside. We can kind of just try to squash things, and if we love each other, let's work through this. None of that. No. And he's dead. And you know, back in the days, it'd be different. He'd be getting that support from his community and the gal that's in his life, knowing that he's putting his life on the line to share the revolutionary messages that he's sharing. You know, you would think in this day and age there would be like a flock of women coming towards a certain man that's like on this type of time. People want to see Martin Luther King come back from the dead. People want to see Tupac come back from the dead. Okay, all these slain rappers come back from the dead, right? But you got guys that are living right now, and you're not appreciating them while they're here. You're giving celebrities flowers, and the man down the street, you ain't even trying to walk with him through a flower garden. you know. And for you ladies, if you know a man that's just not even trying to get, he's just basically like goes to work, comes home, and he chilling. Next time, maybe just ask him, "Have you eaten today? I would like to take you out to eat. It's on me. Do you want me to cook you something?" As long as you ain't on that being a witch trying to put some in his soup, I think he would trust you on that. Yeah, you said, princess. Nobody is going to tolerate an angry person from neither gender. That unfairly puts negative energy on people around them. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah, yeah. Of course, nobody's going to tolerate that. Like, uh, yeah, it's like I said, it's based on um what he's going through. So that's why I talk about the whole Incredible Hulk side. It takes a special woman to be around a man in a certain way. For you to understand things about him that other people don't understand, right? So that's what love a lot of times people like fail to realize. Like there's this uh certain things about that man. Like nobody can get close to him. Excuse me. Nobody can get close to him like that, like you can. Okay. So that's what's missing. How many, please, like with this whole 80-20 rule, right? And it's unfortunate because I believe the 80-20 rule is backwards. But let's just take it in the context of the popular opinion about the 80-20 rule. And by the way, yeah, make sure y'all hit that damn like button. uh, all these gals want to flock to a certain guy. Like 80% of the gals want to flock to 20% of the guys, right? How many gals would pay to be around this guy? Like literally want to be close with him. Even if he get a little angry about things, be angry at the world. Gals will be like, I want to be the one to wash his feet. I want to be the one to take care of him. I'm that chick. I will look out for him in ways the rest of the other 60 to 70% of gals or 79% of gals can't do. I will look out for him. I want to love him a certain way. I want to show him what that I see him as special, you know. So there needs to be more empathy, you know. We look at a situation, we see a man that's angry, we don't understand what that anger is. We talk about negative energy, no pun intended, princess. But yeah, we talk about that, and we don't understand that he got that from somewhere. Something happened to him. We don't know. But ladies, that's where that you tend to that Incredible Hulk side of him, right? Because if you know about comic books, I'd say this: if a gal cannot handle him as Bruce Banner now, she will not be able to handle him as Incredible Hulk later. She really ain't gonna be able to deal with him later. So basically, as he goes through certain moods that he has and the evolutionary path and revolutionary path that he's embarking himself upon, she ain't gonna be able to deal with none of that. She ain't gonna deal with none of his growth. She ain't gonna be able to deal with none of his ups and downs. None of that. So that's why I felt it's like I'm very different. Like I don't like really need to interrogate nobody. Like when it comes to being around the feminine, trying to do a background check and all that. Hey, check this out. You can know a lot about her based on how she treats you, right? Put her through a lot of these ups and downs, and not to say that you put her on an emotional roller coaster. She literally sees your emotional roller coaster. Now you're gonna have some manosphere guys that probably be like, "You sound like a woman. You talking about the emotional roller coaster." So when things go really bad and you just lose it one day and you don't know why you lost it, you mean to tell me you're not gonna be able to explain that? Well, I got things set up in my life. I've been self-improving, becoming the best version of myself every day. Okay, you say that now, but things will always hit the fan. That's what life is about. I'd rather, like Bruce Lee said, I'd rather like Bruce Lee said, I'd rather not be asking for better days, but rather the strength to deal with the difficult one. Okay. That's what Bruce Lee said. One second. Exactly, princess. And I pretty much I've debunked that 80-20 rule myself at this channel. I'm not about that at all. So yeah, I totally get what you where you're coming from. So yeah, I'm glad you heard other people's debunk it. But yeah, I've definitely in my own way have debunked it too, at my channel. But not to speak bad on the manosphere, but yeah, I mean there's a different side to it. There's other sides because in some ways a lot of gals still do live out the 80-20 rule, even though realistically speaking, it is very impractical, but that doesn't stop someone from wanting to have this unrealistic expectation, right? Yeah. So that's what we live in. People, a lot of the feminine, a lot of the lesser feminine, they have this against all odds approach about things, depending on what the situation is. Even though that man is trying to go against all odds with her, like he wants her to still be around him and be with him despite her odds of really liking him like that, right? But that's another conversation. That's another conversation. Okay. But yeah, I guess rounding up this live stream, this going to be a little shorter than expected. But yeah, for sure. P.S. Ironically, even though the so-called black man experience is it's just you can't compare it. A lot of people still revere, you know, a certain individual like a Fred Hampton, especially when he's approachable. Uh, you deal with the ones that want to call themselves, I guess, racist or prejudiced. Even those that have the same color, they just being haters. Deep down inside, they like him and they wish to be like him. You know what I mean? So, like, we could blame it on the corrupt music that Crazy Bone talked about, but there's definitely more factors to all this. Okay, there's more factors, but it's only going to get better from here, no matter what it looks like out there, because what I am a man means now is improving every single day. And I guess the only thing I could say at this point, just given everything that I've spoken about, I hope everybody has checked out part one, part two of this, which was a continuation. And I hope y'all enjoyed this basically this part three, which is the trilogy. This live stream was going to be a very long live stream otherwise, so I had to break it up in segments. I don't want to. I only had one live stream that was like 3 hours here at this channel, so and I didn't really have the time to continue on as long as I did with the first live stream, which was a very good live stream of this type, by the way. But I will say this: there needs to be rehabilitation of what I am a man means now. How about that? Hopefully this live stream made sense to some. Maybe this live stream did not make sense to others, but to the others that this live stream made sense to, make sure that you hit that like button, especially those listening to this on the replay. If this is your first time coming to this channel, like a few that I've seen in the chat thus far, thank you, Princess, for stopping by. Thank you, Jesse, for stopping by. Just know that there's definitely more in store. So make sure that you subscribe, share this live, as well as my other content. If you go into my archives, which basically is in my playlist, which consists of a lot of different topics that I add to those playlists on a regular basis. Okay. And make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you get all of my content in real time. And with that said, definitely more in store. As I just said, we're going to continue on with this. I got a lot of good live streams up and coming on the way. Like, I was actually going to do this particular live stream. Well, there's a lot of different live streams, but I was going to do a lot of these on IG at Reality XM on IG. I say all that to say, excuse me. I say all that to say, make sure that y'all follow me on IG too at Reality XM, because I'll be over there. I'll be over there as well as I'll be here nowadays too. Okay. So follow me on IG. Make sure y'all subscribe to Rayology XM here on YouTube as well. Tell somebody about yours truly, Rayology XM. Okay. So in the meanwhile, going to go back to the mothership. Thanks a million for stopping by. Catch y'all on the next one. Taking off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.